Luxury electric cars are like designer clothes. Beautiful, yes, but your wallet might weep. But fear not, electric enthusiasts. The V.W ID.7 is shattering expectations with premium features and a price tag that might surprise you. Is this a dream come true for budget-minded EV lovers, or is it a hidden catch waiting to be sprung? Let's peel back the layers of the ID.7 and analyze its tech, comfort features, and surprisingly affordable cost. Volkswagen is stepping up its game in the electric car arena. After introducing the new ID.4, they've been on a roll, rolling out new models left and right. Now, they're gearing up to launch the ID.7, a sleek electric sedan that's ready to take on heavy hitters like the Tesla Model 3. Sure, the Arteon and Passat had their heyday, but the ID.7, it's hitting the scene at just the right time. With everyone buzzing about electric cars, especially ones that won't break the bank, the ID.7 is ready to make a splash. And why shouldn't it? Volkswagen knows what they're doing. They've been in the game long enough to know what works and what doesn't. So when they say the ID.7 is the next big thing in electric cars, you better believe it. Now, let's get you through all the details of this new giant and see what it has to offer. In 2024, the ID.7 stands out in the United States' dwindling market for sedans. With a wheelbase 5 inches longer than its predecessor, the Arteon, which is bowing out of the US market due to declining sedan sales, the ID.7 offers a refreshing take on the traditional sedan. While it may not be the flashiest car on the block, the ID.7 boasts a sleek and sophisticated design that sets it apart from its sibling, the ID.4. You'll notice some familiar features borrowed from the ID.4, like the sweeping line that gracefully arcs from the windshield to the trunk, giving the car a sleek silhouette. Now, under the hood or under the floor since it's electric, you'll find the APP 500 drive system snugly fitted into the rear axle. It's got all the bells and whistles, including a pulse inverter and a dual-stage 1-speed gearbox. And let's not forget about the battery, a hefty 82.0 kilowatt-hour beast ready to rumble, with 77.0 kWh of that actually usable. Plus, rumor has it that future versions will pack an even more powerful punch. Now, you might be wondering about performance. Well, the ID.7 is no slouch. With 282 horsepower and 402 pound-feet of torque under its belt, it's ready to tackle anything the road throws its way. And when it comes to range, the ID.7 is a real champ, clocking in at 386 miles on the worldwide Harmonized Light Vehicle Test Procedure cycle. That's more than enough to get you from here to there without breaking a sweat. But what about charging? Fear not, because the ID.7 has you covered. A DC quick charging station can slurp up electricity at a rate of up to 175 kilowatts. In just 10 minutes, you'll be back on the road with an extra 127 miles in the tank. And if you're really in a hurry, you can go from 10% to 80% capacity in just 28 minutes. Talk about convenience. When it's time to hit the road, the ID.7 doesn't disappoint. It's got plenty of pep, sprinting from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 6.5 seconds and topping out at 112 mph. And thanks to its MacPherson front axle and 5-link rear axle supported by VW's dynamic chassis control, you'll enjoy a smooth and responsive ride, whether you're carving up corners or cruising down the highway. When you hop behind the wheel of the ID.7, it's like gliding on a cloud, smooth, serene, and oh so quiet. One of the things that really stands out about the ID.7 is just how civil it is. Do you know how some electric vehicles can feel a bit wonky with all that regenerative braking stuff? Well, the ID.7 handles it like a pro, making sure you're not tossed around like a salad on a bumpy road. Speaking of regen, the ID.7 gives you options. You can stick with the standard mode where regen is always on to some degree, or dial it up a notch for a bit more oomph. Even in the aggressive setting, it's not too jarring, but it's not exactly what you'd call one-pedal driving material. Still, it's a smooth ride no matter which mode you pick, whether you're weaving through city streets or cruising down the highway. Now, let's talk about driving modes. You've got your comfort mode for everyday cruising, eco mode for stretching out that range, and sport mode for when you're feeling a bit frisky. But here's the thing. Sport mode doesn't seem to do much. Sure, Volkswagen says it tightens up the steering and gives you sharper control, but it's about as effective as pushing a button at a crosswalk. You might as well just stick with comfort and call it a day. But here's where things get a bit hairy. The brakes. When you hit the brakes, there's a noticeable delay before anything happens. It's like that moment of panic when you realize you left the oven on. You know you'll eventually stop, but it's a bit nerve-wracking in the meantime. Sure, you can get used to it, but it's one of those things you'd rather not have to deal with on a regular basis. Aside from its smooth ride, the ID.7 suspension adds a touch of road feedback, which is nice, even if you're not trying to break any speed records. Speaking of speed, don't let the 282 horsepower fool you. This sedan has some pep in its step. Sure, the 0 to 62 time might not sound impressive on paper, but trust me, when you're behind the wheel, that acceleration is right there when you need it. Volkswagen has decked out the interior of the ID.7 to match its sleek exterior, featuring a prominent 15.0-inch touchscreen that steals the show while everything else stays neatly tucked away. Inside, you'll find a spacious and minimalist cabin, with ambient lighting casting a cool glow as the day winds down. It's pretty straightforward, but I can see how some folks might not be into the backlit graphics and such. Now, let's talk about the smart features. There are these active automatic air vents that are supposed to adjust to keep you comfy, but in reality, it's a bit of a hassle to mess around with the HVAC menu to get them just right. Then there's IDA, the voice command assistant, which is supposed to respond to you when you say you're feeling hot or cold. Sounds nifty, right? Well, in our experience, it was more miss than hit. IDA seems to have a mind of its own, randomly chiming in during our conversations without any real purpose. And don't even get me started on the travel assist function. It's supposed to make your life easier by bundling together many driving assists for safety and convenience. VW even encouraged us to try out the automatic lane change and overtake functions on the highway, but let me tell you, it was a mixed bag. My drive partner managed to pull it off, but I couldn't quite get the hang of it. It's like trying to pat your head and rub your belly at the same time. Doable for some, but not for everyone. Now, let's talk about that whopping 15.0-inch infotainment screen. They've revamped the interface after some complaints, adding permanent access points at the top and bottom. But even with these changes, it's still a bit overwhelming. It demands a lot of attention, which can be a bit distracting when you're trying to focus on the road. On the bright side, the automatic emergency braking feature is top-notch. It kicks in when you need it most. On the flip side, the driver's display is more like a king-sized candy bar in terms of size, but don't let that fool you. It may be simple, but it gets the job done, which is a breath of fresh air in today's world of overly complicated tech. And to make up for its simplicity, there's the augmented reality head-up display. It takes things to the next level, showing you directional arrows, lane markings, and warnings on your windshield. The real magic happens with the way it projects the data onto the windshield. Instead of just a flat 2D image, the ID.7 makes it look like the information is floating at different distances. The ID.7's success will ultimately come down to its price and positioning. If Volkswagen tries to slap a premium label on it and charge accordingly, they might be aiming a bit too high. But let's focus on what the ID.7 does well. It's a competent electric vehicle perfect for your everyday commute. The exterior is sleek and modern with just enough flair to catch your eye without going overboard. And if you pick the right paint color, it can really make a statement. Inside, it's spacious and comfortable, letting the tech do the talking. But here's the thing, the tech isn't always reliable. When it works, it's great, but when it doesn't, it can be a real headache. As for the driving experience, it's smooth sailing no matter which regen level you choose. But don't expect it to blow your socks off in the performance department. And those brakes, let's just say they leave something to be desired. So, is ID.7 worth parking in your driveway? Share your opinions in the comment box below, and hit that red subscribe button before signing off.